Adult gangs in America are a real problem, and they're not only a real problem, they're powerful and they are real. A lot of them are united across lines of work, the type of work they do, the type of equipment that they use. The first gang that I'd like to address is a type of person that probably shouldn't be stereotyped because there probably are some decent ones, although they are a middle class or even a lower middle class group of people who seem intent on gaining as much personal power for themselves as possible. Some of them do this for money, the type of things that I'm going to be talking about: the surveillance, the intimidation, the harassment of people, the intelligence agenda that's gone one step beyond legal. Okay, and that's definitely provable, and I've even written a book about it and quite a lot in other ways about it. The type of people that I'm talking about right now are a group that are employed a lot in trucking. And they have wireless communication. They develop it because they have the money to do so. They use it for all types of purposes, mostly self-enrichment, but also to further sometimes a quasi-religious agenda that they have, a crusade, if you will. And also they use it for other more mundane purposes like drug running and just basic mayhem and chaos, which some of them seem to be very in love with. They also have mobility, they have organization. Not to overstate any of this, they're not the most bright people in the world, and they do have a lot of cases of infighting amongst themselves, but they will pick a leader, and I have plenty of evidence of this, that they believe has the right idea about things, and they will go and act on this leader's orders or this leader's suggestions and use their mobility and their electronic communications and their abilities of organization to harass or surveil or to intimidate individuals. Anybody that doesn't toe the line, doesn't get in lockstep with them, they basically are after one nation under Jesus, and they're very misled. They never really knew what America was all about. They don't know that. They can't understand it when you tell them lords and kings are un-American. They don't get it. They can't understand the fact that this country was made to do away with lords and kings, and they're trying to instill a Middle Eastern lord and king who's been dead over 2,000 years as a leader of spirituality, and they insist that this leader's ruling has a lot to do with the American government, which is as far from the truth as you can imagine. You just can't get any farther from the truth than that. The second type of gang member, the adult gang members here in America, are generally identified because they use for transportation motorcycles. These are biker gangs, and they are well known for high crime and shenanigans for years now, and there are a lot of biker gangs, and a lot of them are employed doing a lot of things. The retired police in this country are a major, major force to be dealt with, and they have their own agenda. The veterans in this country are another gang-like group of people that have manifested just of late as the Tea Party. Okay, so there is that kind of thing that is allowable and acceptable in our society today, but easily observed. And if you open your mind and open your eyes and see what it is and what it really does, you'll understand a lot of this. The veterans, the police, the prison guards, the retirees of all types that believe they have their pension to protect. All they do is listen to what the politicians tell them and never realize that it's the politicians who are after their pensions in the first place. The politicians basically hold those pensions over these guys' heads and say, hey, this guy's making trouble, this guy's talking bad about this, that, and the other thing, he's weakening the system, go get him. And they do. They harass, they intimidate, they surveil, they even poison and abduct, and among many other things. A lot of what they do is for their personal gain, and that's kind of understandable. That's just the way it is here in La La Land. The penny is the god, and 100 pennies is a bigger god, and that's the way they all look at it, and that's the way it has been here. And you can almost semi understand that motivation. But when they get off on this religious kick and they get off on some kind of agenda of uh, harassment and intimidation just because someone happens to be of a different religion than them, and believe me, most people are of a different religion than them. And like I say, this is easily observed. If you go to the net and look up the Tea Party movement, look at some of their meetings, you'll see exactly what's happening, exactly what's manifesting, and that's only the beginning. It's less than, say, a KKK meeting, but a lot more than a meeting at the library for discussion of philosophy. You know what I mean? It's way over towards violence, and it's right on the line. So this is something that people need to be aware of, and if they can't address it, which they should at least be aware of it. And avoidance, a lot of times, is 95% of the problem. Take yourself out of the picture as far as dealing with these kind of people, and understand just where their heads are at, and that they do act in concert and they are organized, and they're just the other side of organized crime, with a tippy toe over into organized crime whenever they think they can get away with it.